Physical media man, physical media man, physical media man. What'd you buy? Was it something good?
What's up, guys? Physical Media Man back here again for another Physical Media Man Monday video. We're continuing on with the Blu-ray collection. I got the letter D. It's not a full shelf, so we'll see where we're at once I get through all of the letter, and I might go into the letter E if I need to. But before I get started, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave feedback, to all that good stuff down below. I'll leave the links to my Instagram page, my Physical Media Man store Instagram page, my Facebook page for the Physical Media Man / Physical Media Man store, my Facebook page for non-media related items, the Hodgepodge Garage, my email, my eBay, my Twitter, and my Letterboxd account. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. First up, we got the Da Vinci Code. I don't think they have a set with all of these. I have at least one of the other ones. I really enjoy these, especially this one. Just a really fun set of movies. So really happy to have that one in the collection. Next up, I'm also really happy to have, because it's part of my Pierce Brosnan collection. I've recently got this, and we watched it a while ago. It was pretty enjoyable. We got Dante's Peak. I got this from Groove for like $6 or $7. But it's a good kind of like Twister, but different, with a volcano and earthquake and everything. So yeah, really fun Pierce Brosnan movie. Next up, we got Date Night with Steve Carell and Tina Fey. We got The Day After Tomorrow. I think I picked this up because Gyllenhaal is in it, and he is, yeah. So another one similar to Dante's Peak. Don't remember this one being very good. I've had it for a long time. I'll probably keep it. I don't know. And I think, yeah, there's a. So this is The Day the Earth Stood Still with Keanu Reeves. This is the 3-disc special edition, and it also has the 1951 version, which is pretty neat, which I don't think I've ever seen. But I don't remember the Keanu one being the greatest of his stuff. But next up, watch this with Church. Very good movie. Susan Sarandon, Sean Penn, a film by Tim Robbins, written and directed by him. We got Dead Man Walking. Really good. It says that Susan Sarandon won a Oscar for Best Actress, and Sean Penn was nominated for Best Actor. So Sister Helen Prejean becomes the spiritual advisor to Matthew Poncelet, a vicious and complex killer awaiting execution. It was a pretty good movie from what I remember. Another one that I watched, not it's with church, but with school, we got Robin Williams and Dead Poets Society. Remember really enjoying this one. It's been a while since I watched it. I remember I had trouble finding it there for a while, and was really excited when I got the Blu-ray. Don't think I paid too terrible much for it, but yeah, really good one. I'm a big Robin Williams fan, so had to have that. Next up is one that I got early on in my Blu-ray collection. We got Daniel Craig in Defiance. Remember it being pretty good, but it's been a while since I've watched it. Recent watch, we got Jake Gyllenhaal and Naomi Watts in Demolition. This one was pretty good for the Gyllenhaal collection. Next up, we got a pretty fun Stallone and Wesley Snipes movie with Demolition Man. Quite a bit of fun. Definitely recommend watching that one if you like Stallone. Well, next up is kind of a hidden gem. Watched this with a friend of the show, Mitch, for the first time when I watched it, and really enjoyed it. Heist movies are one of my favorite subgenres, and this one is really good. We got Gerard Butler, O'Shea Jackson Jr., which is Ice Cube's son, and 50 Cent, as well as some other people in it, and Den of Thieves. Very good. Definitely recommend this one if you haven't seen it. It's somewhat recent. Looks like it came out in 2018, but yeah, definitely recommend this one if you're into that genre of movies. Next up was one I was kind of disappointed by, but I've kept at least for a while. I do kind of like George Clooney stuff, so we got The Descendants. And it's set in Hawaii, which is one of our favorite places, so I've just kind of hung on to it. Next up is one of my, I guess, somewhat guilty pleasure. Been a while since I watched it, but really remember thinking it was good. We got Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway in The Devil Wears Prada. And if you're not too familiar with the channel, I'm not the biggest fan of Meryl Streep. But she is very hateable in this movie. And everyone hates her, so that might be why I like it a little more. But yeah, I like that one. So I haven't opened it, as you can see. I got it on a good deal, I think like $5 on Amazon or something like that. Next up was one I was kind of disappointed in, but it's been a long time since I watched it. I picked this up for both the Harrison Ford and Brad Pitt collection. We got The Devil's Own. I think this is my favorite, the Rob Zombie movies. We got The Devil's Rejects. This will probably be for sale. If you're interested, let me know. I have it in the box set, so I'll probably get rid of it. But until then, this is the way I had this one. We got Sean Connery in Diamonds Are Forever. Next up, we got Dick Tracy. We kind of recently watched this one and had a good time with it. I was expecting it to be a little bit different, but definitely worth checking out if you've never seen. Next up, we got The Dilemma with Vince Vaughn and Kevin James. I had this just a Blu-ray disc. I think I watched this in the theater and thought it was hilarious. Then I just bought the disc, and it was on clearance for $1.25 at Big Lots. So I picked up Dinner for Schmucks with Steve Carell and Paul Rudd. I remember thinking this movie is absolutely hilarious. It's been a while, but yeah, it came out in 2010, so very funny one there. Next up, we got a favorite of ours, a great film, Dirty Dancing. We recently, last year, went to the filming locations from this movie. It's just a really good movie. You forget how good it is until you rewatch it. And there's also a really interesting, I think it's Movies That Made Us on Netflix. It's a series, and there's one on Dirty Dancing, and everything that went into making that movie and all the history about it is really interesting. Definitely recommend checking that out too if you haven't seen it. Next up, we got The Disaster Artist. I've not yet watched The Room, but this is really enjoyable. Don't know how much rewatchability is there, but very good movie. Next up, we got Disclosure with Michael Douglas and Demi Moore. Somewhat similar to Fatal Attraction, but yeah, a good movie that's similar to that. Next up's one I remember really liking when I first watched it. It's kind of like a ripoff of Rear Window, the Hitchcock movie, but we got Shia LaBeouf and Disturbia. You got some Tarantino with Django Unchained. Dodgeball. I was watching that on TV not too long ago. Still so funny. Next up, I just picked up because it was $1.50 and it has Nicolas Cage in it. We got Dog Eat Dog. I think this was one we watched and didn't love, but I like Nicolas Cage stuff, so got it. Next up was a gift from Plaid X2, John. So thanks again, John. This is one of my favorite items in the Blu-ray collection. Worth quite a bit of money, and big Kevin Smith fan, so really happy to have it. We got Dogma on Blu-ray. And we not too long ago watched that, and it holds up pretty well. Next up is Don John. I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt quite a bit. Written and directed by him. Also starring him, as well as Scarlett Johansson and Julianne Moore. A different kind of rom-com. Next up, we got Donnie Brasco with Al Pacino and Johnny Depp. A really good mobster, mafia type of movie. Next up, we got Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot. Didn't really know too much about this, but good cast. So decided to check it out, and it was pretty good. So holding on to it at least for a while. Big fan of wrestling and The Rock. I'm not really into wrestling as much anymore, but I love watching biographies and all that type of things about wrestling, not the actual weekly shows. But big fan of The Rock, so we got Doom. Next up, I really enjoyed this movie. I like the music in it, the whole vibe of it, the coming of age type of story. Produced by Forrest Whitaker. Let's see if it says. I'm not sure how you. Just kind of some smaller named actors and stuff. We got Dope. This one came out in 2015, it looks like. I think I first watched that on Netflix and got a good deal on the Blu-ray. Next up, I don't remember the last time I watched it, but remember liking it. We got Domino with Keira Knightley, Mickey Rourke, Edgar Ramirez, and directed by Tony Scott. Next up, we got Draft Day with Costner. I was going to watch this right around the NFL draft and forgot about it, but remember liking it quite a bit. Big sports movie fan, and Costner has done quite a few of them, and this is probably one of the weaker, but that's mainly because the other ones are so great. But happy to have that on Blu-ray in the collection. Next up is Drill Bit Taylor for my Owen Wilson collection. This was $1.50 from Big Lots as well, so upgraded that. I think somebody sent this my way via trade or something. I can't remember. If you're watching, let me know. I watched this. I think I had it on DVD and watched it, and I'm a big fan of Jake Johnson from New Girl, as well as Ron Livingston from Office Space and all sorts of stuff. So was really hoping this was going to be better than I thought it was, but probably on a rewatch I would like it more. So keeping that. Next up, I need to revisit too, because it's been a while on this one. Great movie, everyone seems to love it. Ryan Gosling and Drive. Next up, we got some Cage. This was an early Blu-ray purchase for me too. Remember not thinking it was like not a good movie, obviously, but enjoyable. We got him in Drive Angry. We got some more Stallone with Driven. This was going for a little bit of money at some point too. I think somebody might have sent this my way too, or picked it up for me. I've watched it once or twice, had it on DVD, so really happy to have that one on Blu-ray. Next up, I was excited to get this for $3. We like this movie quite a bit. I haven't seen the one where he's in the car on the phone, but this one's really good. Tom Hardy, James Gandolfini in The Drop. Always enjoyed this one too. It's been a while on this one. Like the music and everything. 2002, Nick Cannon in Drumline. That's somewhat of a guilty pleasure too, I would say. And lastly, Dude, Where's My Car, to end off the letter D. So I think I'm going to wrap it at this one. Talked a little bit more about each title. Some good stuff in the letter D. Hopefully I'll be able to get another video with the letter E. It might go into the letter F, but that's probably about one shelf's worth. So a little less between D and F, but we pick back up with G, it looks like. So yeah, hope you are enjoying this series. I'm going to try to do some more collection type videos and actor spotlights and all sorts of different things, but I'm been slacking, and this is a good way to put some content out. So I hope you're enjoying. This is Physical Media Man signing off. Physical Media will never die. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man. Physical Media Man. Yeah!